Today's top picks from Reuters. Breakingviews: interest from the Middle East in RBS has raised hopes of a sale, but the bank will need the green light from Canary Wharf before it or the UK government can seriously consider a sale. And Iran's oil revenue could halve as top buyers move to cut imports from the Islamic Republic. With me is Chris Hughes. I want to start with Iran, if I could. We've got you've published this fantastic calculator, and it's quite an eye-opener. Una Gilani is saying that this problem could be worth $50 billion to them, i.e. $50 billion is what they could lose in revenue once the sanctions are in place, and indeed once the discounts, the oil discounts are in place.
And also it shows that, as a proportion of government revenues overall, that is a colossal amount.
Huge. 80% of general government revenues, 20% of GDP.
Yeah, I mean, what you've done with this, one of our little interactive calculators, is allow you to sort of play around with the sort of main variables that determine the impact of sanctions on Iran. I mean, clearly, if it's going to have a big reduction in the oil itself, and it may have to actually sell oil at a sort of discount to market. When it can sell, it's going to have to sell at a discount to market to get it away. You can have quite a catastrophic sort of drop.
And you can have quite a play around with this thing, as one of the producers is doing now. But you've basically averaged the Brent price at what, $111 or something like that for your calculations to get to this 50 billion.
Yeah.
I believe it's. I believe that. What about the discount? What have you said on the discount?
I mean, you can play with that. You might say around sort of 20% would be appropriate there, but I mean, it's really up to the user here to plug in their own assumptions.
I guess what's realistic is the point, right?
Well, it's not on the screen here, but you can actually reset to our default values, which I think is about 20% on the discount.
I think what one needs to do is reload this thing, and then it'll be the default, which looks at 111, I believe, and 20%.
But you can see, just if you look at the right-hand side there, just how much the
115, I should say.
How much pain is caused by this. So you can see why the market's taking a keen interest.
All right. That's that. Definitely worth a look at that one, and that fabulous calculator. RBS is the other story. Now, of course, this has been running for a few days now, and the Abu Dhabi interest at very high levels, the royal family levels in RBS. Of course, the Saudi family or Abu Dhabi has a stake, I believe, in Citigroup, in Credit Suisse, Barclays.
Everyone's very excited about this, and the market reaction. You look at RBS's share price is taking it all very seriously. But what we're saying here is that hold your horses, because the idea that somehow there's going to be some sort of quick sale of the government stake in full or part to a sovereign wealth fund is just ridiculous. I mean, the problem is that RBS is so entwined at the moment with the UK state. In particular, people forget, through this ongoing asset protection insurance, which surely would have to be cancelled before the bank could be sort of properly returned and treated as a fully privately run and owned entity. But cancelling that insurance is not easy. It's not just like cancelling your car insurance or your home insurance, although it is.
And that's a stumbling block, you're saying.
That's a stumbling block, and the thing is that if the UK regulator is going to be persuaded that this bank can be essentially sort of passed fully into private ownership, then it's going to have to be convinced that it's got an utterly solid capital position that can absorb future losses if this protection is removed, right? And that is not going to be something that you can just sort of handle in one weekend's negotiations. I mean, it may need further adjustments to the capital structure. There's some government B shares in there. It's a big hurdle which needs to be overcome before there can be any sale to Abu Dhabi.
All right, Chris, thanks very much indeed for that. Chris Hughes, if you want to watch our US Breakingviews show every day, 12:30 Eastern, 16:30, I should say 17:30. 16:30 GMT. You can find the shows on the Breakingviews site as well, and Reuters.com. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.